ladies and gentlemen, we are a month away from elections in 5 states. The dates were announced just 48 hours ago. It's election season and we couldn't be more excited here in the Election News headquarters of India. And as always, we hope you'll be watching Times Now to get the accurate numbers that are projected in the opinion polls. And we hope you will stay with us because we never jump to conclusions when counting takes place. And the biggest state that's going to polls in these elections is Uttar Pradesh. And we're going to talk about Uttar Pradesh over the next 60 minutes. It's also the most keenly watched election at this stage. Times Now Veto is bringing you the mood on the ground before the first vote is cast. We tell you what the mood is before the mandate. The opinion poll will give you a sense of which way the votes could be cast come polling day. I'm sure you're waiting to see the projected numbers for Uttar Pradesh. But before we go to Uttar Pradesh, I'm going to keep building the suspense. We will first look at the states that we have shown you over the last 3 hours. First, let's go through the 3 other states that are going to elections and are equally important, not just for the national scenario, but also to determine the future of many political parties in the country. Let's take a look at Uttarakhand for one. In fact, Uttarakhand numbers, and these are the Uttarakhand numbers coming up on your screen. BJP projected to get 44 to 50 seats, Aam Aadmi Party 5 to 8 seats, the Congress Party 12 to 15 seats, others 0 to 2. Total seats in Uttarakhand are 70, and it is BJP which will make history. If they get these seats, then they will make history, because 21 years since Uttarakhand has been carved out as a separate state, no government has repeated itself. It has always been alternate times. This time, with the coming of the Aam Aadmi Party, is the Congress party's votes going to be depleted? That's the question. And is the BJP, despite changing 3 chief ministers and the current popularity of Pushkar Singh Dhami, going to be the favorites to win this election? 44 to 50 seats projected. So it seems BJP all the way in Uttarakhand, according to these opinion polls. Let's take a look at the next state that's coming up on your screens. We're looking at Goa, and in Goa, BJP is expected to get 17 to 21. Now, look at this number very closely, ladies and gentlemen. If it is 17, then it's not halfway mark, because there are 40 seats in the Goa Assembly. If it is 21, then they are 1 up. But if it is 17, then 2017 and idhar se udhar of MLAs can become a real picture. 17 to 21 seats in Goa for BJP, 4 to 6 seats for the Congress Party. And the big news is that the Aam Aadmi Party is going to topple the Congress Party as the second biggest party in Goa. 8 to 11 seats is what it's projected to get, others 3 to 5. So Aam Aadmi Party faring pretty well as far as Goa is concerned. Can the BJP actually make up in the next 4 weeks these numbers? Because this seems dicey, to say the least. But we all remember that what happened in 2017. Are we waiting and expecting a rerun in Goa? Who's booking their train tickets or flight tickets before? Digvijay Singh, last time, recall, maybe he should book his tickets today, but though his party doesn't have too much to do, but maybe even the BJP will have to book tickets right now if these are the projections for Goa. Let's take a look at Punjab coming up next on your screens. Punjab, Congress 41 to 47, Amrinder Singh and BJP together about 3 seats. Akali is 11 to 15, but it is Aam Aadmi Party 54 to 58. Absolutely stumping the Congress Party, and getting ahead in Punjab. Arvind Kejriwal hasn't announced, that's why, in Aam Aadmi Party's chief ministerial candidate, because many say that there are two contenders that he's talking about, and if it isn't Mr. Maan, who's a Lok Sabha member of parliament, then there could be some rumbling. We don't know what's happening there, but as of now, 54 to 58 to the Aam Aadmi Party. But in assembly of 117, is this going to be really the situation? In which case, where is the Aam Aadmi Party going to pick up the remaining MLAs from? Will it be from the others, 1 to 3, or the Akalis, or the BJP and Captain Amrinder Singh's party, Punjab Lok Dal? We don't know. But as of now, this doesn't show a clear majority in Punjab. There are still 4 weeks to go. Which way is Punjab going? That's the big question. And may I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, before we go to Uttar Pradesh, I want to tell you the sample size and the methodology in the manner of which this opinion poll has been done. Sample size, it's the biggest opinion poll, 60,000 respondents, and this is how they're divided in Goa. Over 6,000 people have been contacted. Punjab, over 18,620 people. Uttarakhand, about 11,310. And Uttar Pradesh, nearly 25,000 respondents, total of about 60,000. And there have been two manners in which these respondents have responded: field surveys and also normalized random digit dialing. And that's how Times Now and Veto surveys opinion poll really comes up. It has both field surveys and random call center calling based on a computerized picking up of numbers. So it's not identified people. Let's now go across to the Uttar Pradesh map. This is Rohilkhand. This is Western Uttar Pradesh. This is where the farmers' protests were there. This is Bundelkhand. This is the region that's Central Uttar Pradesh. Excuse me. This is the Awadh region, and this is the Purvanchal region, Eastern Uttar Pradesh. This is where Varanasi, and you saw the expressway story unrolling here. So this is the way Uttar Pradesh is divided, and we'll start with the Purvanchal number 1, and that is Eastern Uttar Pradesh. Look at the way the BJP is. There are 102 seats in Purvanchal. BJP slated to get 51 to 59%, BSP 4 to 5, Samajwadi Party 38 to 44. And this is where the challenge was, because this is the region where many people were saying that the BJP is losing steam. But if it's 51 to 59 out of the 102, Samajwadi Party 38 to 44, and Congress 0 to 1, BSP 4 to 5, others 0 to 2. So the BJP is well placed. Let's take a look at Awadh. The Awadh region, BJP 56 to 64 out of the 98 seats, 31 to 33 Samajwadi Party, BSP 3 to 4, Congress 2 to 3, others 0 to 1. So out of 98, again, the BJP is taking the lead in the Awadh region. Let's look at region number 3 in Uttar Pradesh. This is Western UP. This is where the farmer protests took place. 56 to 59 for the BJP, BSP 0 to 1. Samajwadi Party 36 to 39, Congress 2 to 3. So it's Samajwadi Party versus BJP, and right now BJP seems to be ahead in the 97 seats in Western Uttar Pradesh. And that seems to be, I've shown you 3 regions, 3 more to go. But let me introduce my panel this evening. Dr. Shambhit Patra, national spokesperson of the BJP. Dr. Anand Ranganath, author. Smita Prakash, editor, ANI. Sabha Naqvi, senior journalist. Ghanshyam Tiwari, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Advocate Waris Pathan, spokesperson of the AIMIM. And Sanjay Jha, suspended Congress leader. My first question goes to Ghanshyam Tiwari ji. Ghanshyam Tiwari ji, if these projections are anything to go by, तो तो फिर तो कहानी में ट्विस्ट है, कहानी में ट्विस्ट है। ओपिनियन पोल बता रहा है कि दिल्ली अभी दूर है, रादर लखनऊ अभी थोड़ी सी दूर है। How do you see these results? Do you think in the next 4 weeks you can make up and all those claims that have been made so far seem not to be cutting our ice as far as our respondents are concerned? They seem to be thinking that BJP is the most favored party in Uttar Pradesh, at least in these 3 regions, which is Awadh, Purvanchal and Western Uttar Pradesh. आप क्या कहेंगे?
नमिता जी, आपको, दर्शकों को एंड पैनलिस्ट को, भारतीय जनता पार्टी का जो वादा है वोटरों से, 200 रुपए का पेट्रोल, 2000 रुपए का सिलेंडर, 400 रुपए का मस्टर्ड ऑयल, 10 साल की बेरोजगारी, हर रोज नफरत, हिंदू मुस्लिम लड़ाई, अमृत फातवा 2018 की तस्वीर 2022 में शेयर करेंगे, बोलेंगे 2017 से पहले से है। लगभग इन्होंने टॉप 10 जर्नलिस्ट, स्वतंत्र जर्नलिस्ट को 1 लाख गालियां दिलवाई अपने टेक्स्ट बॉक्स प्लेटफॉर्म से, ऐसा मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म से आया, तो महिलाओं को गाली। ये सब भारतीय जनता पार्टी का वादा है। अगर इसके बाद वो देश में कहीं भी चुनाव जीतते हैं तो ये लोकतंत्र के लिए खतरनाक है। हमें लगता है कि ये इस वादे से जनता इन्हें हराएगी, जिताएगी नहीं। आने वाला चुनाव सिर्फ इसलिए होगा कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने लोगों को बेबुनियादी मुद्दों में भटका दिया, जबकि लोगों की जरूरतें बुनियादी थी। लोगों को रोजगार चाहिए था जो ये दे नहीं सकते, देना भी नहीं चाहते। लोगों को अच्छे दिन चाहिए थे, इन्होंने बुरे दिन दिखाए। लोगों को ऑक्सीजन चाहिए था, इन्होंने मौत का तांडव दिखाया और फिर उसको सम्मान भी नहीं दिया। तो ये आपके एक रुझान है, उत्तर प्रदेश बहुत बड़ा है, 15 करोड़ से अधिक मतदाता है और जो बुनियादी मुद्दे हैं वही चुनाव को जिताएंगे। और बुनियादी मुद्दों में भारतीय जनता पार्टी शून्य है, गोल है और इसलिए इनको बुनियादी मुद्दों पे बात करनी पड़ रही है।
बिल्कुल, आपने जो कहा, आपने इतने मुद्दे उठा दिए, बट why are these topics, why are these issues not registering with the people of Uttar Pradesh? Dr. Sambit Patra, Ghanshyam Tiwari ji feels that price rise is an issue. There is a problem as far as unemployment is concerned, but doesn't seem to be reflecting, at least in the opinion polls. Respond to Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari.
Radhika, at least I think this is the 10th opinion poll that I've attended, not only on Times Now but on other channels as well. And most of these opinion polls have gone in a similar direction, that is pointing towards Bharatiya Janata Party forming the government. Astonishingly, now the Samajwadi Party, conceding this is almost
says that this is Loktantra ko khatra. If this be the opinion poll, if this be the reality on 10th of March, this is nothing but khatra to Loktantra. No, but Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari was absolutely right when he said that elections are fought on basic and bunyadi mudde, basic issues of the public. What is the basic issue of the public? Safety is the issue of the public. And let me, without any projections, without any data, tell you one thing. Navika, your studio is also located in Uttar Pradesh. Just hold your heart and just tell the truth. The truth is, today we all feel safe in Uttar Pradesh. There was a time when Uttar Pradesh was reeling under Mafia Raj, when Mukhtar Ansaris and Atiq Ahmed were the ones who were calling out the shots in Uttar Pradesh. Who, in fact, if there was a patch of land which was vacant, it was just pointed by these Mafia dons and it was said to be theirs. Today, we don't see this kind of things in Uttar Pradesh. Today, if you are a don in Uttar Pradesh, if you are a mafia in Uttar Pradesh, the rightful place that you would be found is behind the bars. Remember the famous video of Mukhtar Ansari, the one who was in a wheelchair, dreading to come to Uttar Pradesh, suddenly starts walking when he reaches Uttar Pradesh because he knows कि उत्तर प्रदेश में योगी का खौफ क्या है माफियाओं के लिए. Number one. Number two, ask a woman. Navika, ask the women and the girls of Uttar Pradesh as to how safe they feel under the Yogi Raj in Uttar Pradesh, under the Bharatiya Janata Party rule in Uttar Pradesh. Thirdly, I mean, look at the exams, the way the exams were conducted, the way there was a biasness towards a particular caste and a particular community in Uttar Pradesh during these examinations, during these recruitments. Ask a common man in the street and today they will say, come what may, at least we don't have these kind of biasness in the society of Uttar Pradesh today.
Lekin Dr. Sambit Patra, may I just come in and ask you that 7 phases polls, और India में तो रोज नई कहानी होती है. Every day there are new developments, moods can change. It's a long polling season in Uttar Pradesh. You begin on the 10th of February and end on the 7th of March. Any nervousness on how things and moods could change? Because the same thing happened even in West Bengal election, 8 phases, and earlier the Trinamool Congress was crying about 8 phases, but ultimately it impacted the BJP more.
In fact, this time the phases have been squeezed compared to what it was last time, as the Election Commission mentioned yesterday. And let me tell you, leave aside the 7 phases. Calculate to 7 years. We have spent 7 years with these kind of questions, that what will happen to Mr. Modi, what will happen to the charisma of Mr. Modi, what will happen to Bharatiya Janata Party in the coming years, because the mood will change. Remember, the people of this country see the intention of the leaders. They see what the leaders really intend to do with their state, intend to do with their country. They know very well that as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, the only intentions of Bharatiya Janata Party is development and peace. And that's what they're delivering. So we don't, we are not about the fact that we have a spread of 7 phases. That is for the law and order situation to be maintained. That is for a smooth transaction of the election. Astonishingly, I was hearing to Mr. Akhilesh Yadav yesterday, where he was the complainant. He was calling on to Election Commission saying that we have to be given some kind of digital support because we are not getting a level playing ground. He was complaining to the Election Commission that we should be given some money because after the ITR company got, in fact, raided by the IT and the ED departments, suddenly they are bereft of money, so they want the Election Commission to pay them money. So literally, if you would listen to the interviews of Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, and today, in fact, I was listening to Priyanka Vadra as well. Both of them are literally begging to the Election Commission that give us some kind of assistance for a level playing ground. They themselves have considered that they are not in a level playing ground. And moreover, it seems tonight Priyanka Vadra is to write a letter to Election Commission demanding that a leader also should be given to the Congress party because they are without a leader.
आपने किसी को ले लिया है कि वो क्या लिखने वाली हैं, आपको पहले पता चल गया है? आज रात को वो लिखने वाली हैं, आपको पहले पता चल गया? आपका कौन सा वहां पे कौन सा पेगासस यूज कर रहे हैं संबित पात्रा जी?
नहीं है हमारे लोग हर जगह हैं. उन्होंने बताया कि प्रियंका गांधी इलेक्शन कमीशन से लीडर मांगने वाली है कि कांग्रेस के पास लेवल प्लेइंग ग्राउंड के लिए लीडर चाहिए, लीडर नहीं है. There is nothing wrong in it. Of course, the leader is.
आज इमरान मसूद जी ने भी छोड़ दिया है, समाजवादी पार्टी चले गए हैं. तो
हाँ, वो इमरान मसूद पे याद आया. Someone had just commented rightly. From Boti to Toti, Imran Masood has not travelled long. From Boti to Toti, that's all he has done.
Well, Sanjay Jha, where is the Congress? If you look at the numbers of the Congress party in these 3 regions, frankly, there's not much to choose from. Just if we can see all the 3 regions again once, these are the regions, and we have Purvanchal, the Congress is 0 to 1. Awadh, let's look at the Congress here, and also look at the others, because I'll go to AIM. Awadh में Congress 2 to 3, 0 to 1 others. Waris Pathan, देखते रहिएगा, ये others में ही आपका नंबर आएगा. और Western UP, again Congress 2 to 3, others 0.
Yes.
So Sanjay Jha, Congress, game over?
Well, Navika, I think one has to concede this point. I mean, the question that you're raising is very germane, and it is one of the big critical factors for Congress's future as well as the opposition strength. I mean, I find it inexcusable, and I have said it before, there is no, shall we say, concession that the Congress party needs to be given, because you have been out of power since 1990. That's almost 3 decades. And after 3 decades, I can understand if the Congress was number 2 or even number 3. But there is no excuse if after 30 years you are a laggard or you have been written off and we are at number 4 position. That's an extremely pathetic performance. And I don't think that can be justified. There's no rational explanation. The only flip side of the argument or some sliver of hope that one can see.
वो sliver of hope है नहीं, but let's see. We have 3 regions remaining. Rohelkhand. Let's look at Rohelkhand now. BJP out of 52 is getting 31 to 36. Samajwadi Party getting 16 to 17. Congress about 0 to 1, and BSP 1 to 2, others again 0. That's Rohilkhand. Let's look at Central Uttar Pradesh. Central Uttar Pradesh, out of 35 seats, BJP still winning 20 to 22. Samajwadi Party winning 12 to 13. Congress again 1 to 2. BSP 0 to 1. Others 0 to 1. This is Central UP. And let's look at the projections for Bundelkhand. BJP gets 13 to 14 seats out of 19 seats in this region. Well, need I say more? Well, 3 to 5 seats for the Samajwadi Party, 0 to 1 for BSP, Congress 0 to 1, total 19 seats, 13 to 14 going to the BJP. So Bundelkhand also firmly in the pocket of the BJP. Let's take a look at overall numbers that are coming in for Uttar Pradesh because Siddharth Nath Singh, a minister in the Yogi government, joining us. We are projecting 227 to 254 for the BJP and its alliance partners, 136 to 151 for the Samajwadi Party, BSP 8 to 14, others 0 to 4, Congress 6 to 11. That's the total of 403. So whichever way you look at it, the BJP's got a comfortable majority. The Samajwadi Party is at the 151 max mark. Congress, of course, down below. They had 8 last time. This time also they are in that region, and others are 0 to 4. And let me introduce to my viewers Mr. Siddharth Nath Singh, Minister in the Uttar Pradesh Cabinet, joining me live this evening. And good evening, Siddharth Nath Singh. Comfortable majority for the BJP is what your opinion poll is suggesting at this moment. I told you so. Is that what you're going to say? Because the BJP's been maintaining that.
I always consider opinion polls and to be a trend setter, or they show a trend. Now, exact numbers sometimes do come true, sometimes it doesn't come true, but certainly it does show a trend. And the trend is what is visible on the ground, that things are favorable for the BJP to form the government with their alliance partner. But I have also seen many elections, and our great leader, Arun Jaitley, always said, once the trend is on the swing, as we reach, and particularly when it is a 7-phase elections, you tend to go up on each phase. And shortly I was seeing that you were showing Purvanchal and that part of the Uttar Pradesh, where BJP numbers are slightly down than what we got previously. I feel that if the trend is in the swing, by the time we reach there, and that's from where we all are, at least I am from that part of the Uttar Pradesh, we should be crossing much higher mark, and that's our expectation. But certainly it's a happy note that we are going to form the government.
Well, Siddharth Nath Singh, if these projections are anything to go by, and if the BJP forms a majority government for a second time consecutively, then you're breaking a 35-year-old record in Uttar Pradesh, and Yogi becomes a second-time chief minister, for a second time in Uttar Pradesh after 35 years. You think that's going to be the real beginning of the planning for 2024? And how much do you think Kashi Vishwanath and Ayodhya have to contribute to this entire narrative?
Well, coming on your first question, whether we're going to break that jinx, I think BJP, Hindi में कहते हैं हमारी आदत बड़ी खराब है. हम चीजों को बदलते ही रहते हैं और बार-बार बदलने की आदत पड़ी हुई है. So we'll keep doing that and we'll break the jinx. I'm quite confident of that. Now coming on the 2024, I always feel, personally, I feel no election should be linked to each other. 2022 will be different than 2024. 2019 was always said, oh, that will lead to 2022. But when we are looking at 2022, it's always a happy note that 2019 we had won. So it will be always a happy note in 2024 also that BJP government is in the state. But coming on Kashi Vishwanath and Ayodhya, I think it goes well with our voters That's something that they had desired for a very long time, and it had never happened. We have fulfilled in the sense when the Supreme Court does come into it, but we never became a roadblock like Congress did in Supreme Court for judgment judgment for the Ayodhya temple. But this certainly has created a good feel factor for our voters, and we are happy that we have delivered that. And the way the Kashi Vishwanath Dham has been created, I think it's a great thing for all the Indians put together, that you have something when who travel and look at Mecca, Medina, and you go down to Vatican, you also have something of your own, the Hindus. So I think these are good trends, and they are going to help us certainly, because we have delivered to the aspirations of many Hindus and many Indians who wish that these things did happen.
Well, so Siddharthnath Singh, the original Shiv Bhakt, वो आए कि नहीं काशी विश्वनाथ?
जो भक्त है वो जरूर आएगा, जो भक्त नहीं है वो पीछे ही रहेगा. That is for sure, नाविका.
और एक और सवाल जाने से पहले एक और सवाल पूछना चाहती हूँ. ये मथुरा वाला इशू आप गर्म करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं, तो क्या इसकी पूरी गर्मी पूरा पकेगा ये 2024 तक?
मथुरा जो है ये नहीं, मथुरा कोई अभी का है या हम लोग तो कह रहे हैं. प्लीज डू अंडरस्टैंड, काशी विश्वनाथ में हमने ये तो नहीं कहा तो बगल में जो अनफॉर्चुनेट मस्जिद बना के बैठ गए थे, जो मुगल सल्तनत आई थी, we have demolished that or something like that. The government has passed an order. We haven't gone to that. That's been still protected, but unfortunately they don't do namaz there. But there in Mathura also similar thing is existing. But that doesn't mean we will not create will not facilitate the development of the Mathura Dham or the Vindhyachal and other areas. So well, we are developing that. They all need an input from the government.
Big announcement coming from Siddharthnath Singh के मथुरा धाम भी बनेगा और development होगा. Well, that sets the cats amongst the pigeons. Thank you very much, Siddharthnath Singh, for joining me. And we exactly asked this question on our survey. And what did people respond to that? Will BJP benefit from issues such as Ayodhya and Kashi? Yes, say about 58% people. No, say 36.73% people. Cannot say 5% people. So that is what you are getting from the people of Uttar Pradesh, that these are important issues that have become center stage. So let me go across Saba Naqvi. And Saba Naqvi, I want to ask you this question. The seats are there. The Samajwadi Party not quite there yet. Of course, we have 4 weeks to go. But do you think this is what is going to be the nature in which these polls are going to unfold?
So, Navika, the audio is very bad, but I'll just share because I was in Purvachal recently. I've just returned yesterday from day before yesterday night, yeah. So it appears to me, I'm a bit confused. You're showing a 3% vote share difference between SP and BJP, right? 3%. So first of all, within Kashi, it's within Varanasi, but in the rural areas, the Hindutva issues are not being talked about. I had gone up near the border to Bihar. It was still cattle and there are two patterns that have emerged, which is a very interesting analysis. One is the welfareism of the BJP, the doles, the welfareism, that they are reaching out to because they're losing a section of OBCs. Are they going to get the Dalits? A section of the Dalits, because BSP is not in the fray. As you know, as I know, in elections like this, there is a section of the voter which wants to go with a party that's likely to win. Right now, there are only two majority. There might be some loyal BSP people, but there are two only. That is very clear. The SP's growth is phenomenal for a party which it's right now. So the question I see it is the momentum. Will there be a momentum in the West? Or will they lose momentum?
But Anand Ranganathan, Varis Pathan back on the show. Before I go to Varis Pathan, I want to get in Dr. Anand Ranganathan. And Anand Ranganathan, the question is, Sabha mentions phenomenal growth for the Samajwadi Party. Well, there were sub 50 numbers in the previous assembly. Now they are slated to get right up to 150. That is a 300% increase. So that is phenomenal as well. But is it beyond the halfway mark is the question over here. And as of now, as things stand today, because this particular poll takes into account the period between 1st of January to 9th of January. In fact, 16th of December to 9th of January. And in this period, at least, the Samajwadi Party has done very well, but not quite beating the BJP. Would you agree with that direction of the voters' mood?
Yeah, good evening, Navika, and good evening to all my fellow panelists. No, I think you're right. The general direction of your opinion poll is, I think, Pat is bang on. Because ultimately, Navika, of course, I'm speaking from the confines of my house. I'm not going out on the ground, as some of your panelists are claiming that they are. I go by data. So how do voters make a call in any elections? Of course, one may say that it is based on caste, religion, ethnicity, or personality of the candidate. There's truth in that, yes. But a rational voter would always go by performance. And for that, there are indicators. So you don't have to visit a village to find out what the indicators are, whether BJP has done something or not. And so, if the BJP beats anti-incumbency, it would be at the back of unprecedented central support and central schemes, as well as what Yogi has achieved in the last 5 years. Let me explain. Just give me a couple of, it's very important. Millions of Jan Dhan accounts have been opened in the last 5 years. Millions of Ujjwala beneficiaries totaling about 2 crores. Gas connectivity has increased dramatically in the last 5 years. Millions of toilets have been constructed in the last 5 years, resulting Navika in an annual benefits of 53,000 per household. Millions of households have to get tap water this year. There are millions of Ayushman Bharat insurance scheme benefits. Now let me come to what Yogi specifically ended. And here, let me make only 2 parameters, infra and law and order. In the last 15 years, Navika, of Samajwadi Party and BSP governments combined, 470 kilometers of expressways were built. In the last 5 years of Yogi government, 650 kilometers of expressway have been built and delivered. And now with the 600 kilometer long Ganga expressway being approved and 35,000 crores sanctioned for it, UP is well on its way to deliver faster economic growth. The other thing is, let us compare now law and order. Now there is no doubt that it has improved under Yogi, and this is across multiple parameters. For example, in 2017, UP recorded 4,000 cases of robbery, and to the end it was 2,241. Cases of dacoity have nearly halved in the state. There is reduction of 45% in rape cases, from 3,419 cases to 2016 to 2,379 in 2019-20. The Yogi government has so far seized and demolished 1,100 crore worth of properties held by mafia and criminals. 10,000 criminals with bounties on their heads.
डॉक्टर आनंद रंगनाथन, अभी आप ये जो फीते वाली बात कर रहे हैं, ये बहुत सेंसिटिव बात है, and I'm sure Ghanshyam Tiwari is wanting to come into.
No, Navika, just 30 seconds, because I was coming to Ghanshyam. Can I please take 30 seconds?
आपको कैसे मना कर?
Allow me to make my point or a shoot?
Just 30 seconds, because I had a pointed question to Ghanshyam Tiwari.
No, I'm coming. In which case I'm coming back to you. वारिस पठान बहुत नाराज हो रहे हैं. ये मुझे पता नहीं क्यों नाराज हो रहे हैं. नाराज इसलिए हो रहे हैं. I'll come back to you, Anand. But नाराज इसलिए हो रहे हैं वारिस पठान साहब क्योंकि ज्यादा सीटें नहीं नजर आ रही हैं आपके लिए, वोट शेयर नहीं नजर आ रहा, या ये इस बात से नाराज हो रहे हैं कि 300% जो इंक्रीज हो रहा है समाजवादी पार्टी का, उनके साथ आप गए नहीं, आप स्प्लिट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं वोट को, वो खास हो नहीं रहा, डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर आपका बन नहीं रहा, चीफ मिनिस्टर तो छोड़ दीजिए, तो वारिस पठान जी आपको गुस्सा क्यों आ रहा है?
मुझे गुस्सा नाराजगी इसलिए आ रहा है कि मैं पिछले 40 मिनट से बैठ रहा हूं और आप मुझे बोलने का मौका नहीं दे रही है नाविका जी। मगर मैं भी समझ सकता हूं
उतना ही टाइम मिलता है और उतनी जल्दी आती हूं, वोट शेयर ज्यादा होता पहले आ जाती है आपके पास।
तो आप बिल्कुल नहीं, मुझे लगता है कि 10 मार्च के बाद आप मुझे आधे घंटे का समय देगी बात करने का, हमारा वोट शेयर बहुत बढ़ने वाला है। और मेरे मित्र
अगर आपका चीफ मिनिस्टर मिलेगा तो मैं 1-on-1 इंटरव्यू करूंगी आपका।
देखिए एक चीज तो है नविका जी, नाउ टाइम हैज कम फॉर योगी टू से गुड बाय टू यूपी. Because Yogi has totally failed as the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. I just came back yesterday from Uttar Pradesh. I was with my President Asad Owaisi and we had several rallies all over Uttar Pradesh, like around 15-16 rallies we had. And you won't believe the anger which Yogi is facing and the love which Owaisi is getting. That is what I want to say. There is anger against Yogi. there is anger against the BJP, there is anger against Yogi, and let me tell you, Navika, Yogi is totally failed. How? People are asking him questions on Lakhimpur. Still the minister is sitting there with Modi. He is not resigned, he is not removed. Those 4 of our farmers who were peacefully protesting were killed by his son through a conspiracy. People are asking questions in Hathras. People are asking questions on unemployment in Uttar Pradesh, that Modi has promised 70 lakh jobs to the youth. But what did he give? Nothing. In fact, crores of youths have lost their jobs due to the COVID and the other planned for things which were done by Modi. People are asking their question about the rise in petrol, diesel, gas prices, which they don't have the answer for. Most of the peoples are also angry on Modi when his people are arranging hate speech summits wherein call for genocide of Muslims are being given, but no action is taken against
Sir,
those
Bareilly
people.
wali
People are
speech bhi
angry
sun
because the
lijiyega.
NITI Aayog report
Sir,
which comes from
not that I am
Prime Minister Modi.
supporting Dharam Sansad, but Bareilly वाली स्पीच भी सुन लीजिएगा. लेकिन इतना हेट है और इतना योगी के और मोदी के खिलाफ है, तो वो नजर क्यों नहीं आ रहा? आइए, let's take a look at who's the most favored chief ministerial face in Uttar Pradesh. And 31.5% Akhilesh Yadav, 11.5 Behan Mayawati, 53.4% is for Yogi. So almost 53.4% for Yogi Adityanath. Akhilesh is at least 22 percentage points behind him. Mayawati 11.5, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra 2.5, 1.2 others हैं. तो अगर ओवैसी जी चीफ मिनिस्टर बनाना चाह रहे हैं तो शायद 1.2% वाले में आएंगे, तो वो कैसे पॉपुलर होगा मुझे पता नहीं. बट दिस इज द क्वेश्चन. एंड मोस्ट पॉपुलर चीफ मिनिस्टीरियल कैंडिडेट एंड फेस इज योगी आदित्यनाथ, 53.4%. Let's take a look at one last question before I come back to Smita Prakash. She's been patiently waiting. Are you satisfied with Yogi Adityanath's work? Yes, 47.4% people. No, 41.2% people. Cannot say 11.39% people. This one is slightly close. Otherwise, there seems to be no doubt that Yogi Adityanath is very, very popular. Smita, the fact that Yogi Adityanath is so popular seems to be a given as far as this opinion poll is concerned. What are the reports you're getting from your team of reporters, and what's your own view on the way Uttar Pradesh is going?
Well, since I guess I have no vote share, I come last in the pecking order in your debate. But yes, your survey seems to point a kind of a bipolar fight, which many surveys have said. And Yogi Adityanath, it's really a battle for second chances, both for Yogi as well as for Akhilesh. Yogi Adityanath, he's not believing in any of the hocus pocus of bad luck and nobody gets elected for the second time. So I think he and the BJP want to break another record. They want to break another myth and to see to it that it is development which is their calling card, and that is going to win them the election. That's what they want to say. As far as the BJP is concerned, I've heard many people talk about this Hindutva angle and the temple angle. I think it's predominant with the BJP, and there's no shying away from it by the BJP. They have embraced it all along, and what you are seeing now is this soft Hindutva has been embraced not just by the Samajwadi Party but even by the Congress Party. They're all doing the temple run. You saw it in the earlier assembly elections, and you're seeing it this time too. Akhilesh has remodeled himself. When you're seeing the narrowing of the gap and Akhilesh's numbers increasing, he's consciously moved away from that Maulana Mulayam image that the Samajwadi Party had, that this secular, if you were to see, is as a non-Hindu party. Akhilesh has changed from that angle, and he has consciously rebranded himself. He's moved out of his father's and uncle's Chhatra Chaya, and that seems to have benefited. As far as Priyanka Gandhi is concerned, or Rahul Gandhi, their clout has withered away. And what you are showing that, 7 to 11, I would doubt even that, because Rahul Gandhi is nowhere to be seen. Forget about him coming to Kashi, as you were mentioning. He's not yet back in India. And as far as Priyanka Gandhi is concerned, she is drawing crowds. But at number 4, for so many years, that just goes to show that even though Mayawati's numbers have come down, the BSP's number has come down, the Congress has not managed to wean away from them. So the benefit of the BSP declining seems to have gone in favor of the Samajwadi Party. It's a little sad to see that, because she was a Dalit leader, a person from a community who showed potential. She's been chief minister, but she's just completely lost interest in the state. She didn't seem to fight in 2017, and she's not fought ever since. She's barely interacted, lives in Delhi, stays within the 4 walls, and she just reads out statements. So her 19 seats, I think, in the last election, they will come down further. And it seems to be that the Samajwadi Party will reap the benefits of the BSP's dwindling numbers. But what you are showing about Owaisi or the others is also quite interesting, because they seem to be getting a lot of mileage in the media because of their bombastic statements, but on the ground people don't see them as an alternative at all as far as the surveys are concerned.
Well said. Hands are going up on the panel. Ghanshyam Tiwari. Okay. Anand Ranganathan, your question to Ghanshyam Tiwari.
नहीं बिल्कुल नाविका, जैसे आपका एक बहुत पुराना स्टेटमेंट मैं उखाड़ के लाया हूं। आपने कहा था नंबर्स बोलते हैं, वोट शेयर तो आज आप वोट शेयर पे आप लोगों के पास जा रही, लेकिन आपने पहले कहा था नंबर्स बोलते हैं। तो मैं सिर्फ नंबर्स को बुलवाना चाहता हूं विद माय गुड फ्रेंड घनश्याम तिवारी जी। मैं 3 नंबर दूंगा। मैं कंपेयर कर रहा था अभी क्या स्थिति है यूपी की टू 2017। तो घनश्याम तिवारी जी आप प्लीज रेडी रहिए, मैं आपसे 3 सवाल पूछूंगा। 2017 में यूपी का जीडीपी पर कैपिटा 47,500 था, आज की तारीख पे कितना है? नंबर 2, 2017 में 30% यूपी विमेन had carried out 10 years of schooling or more. आज के फिगर कितना है? और नंबर 3 फाइनली 2017 में यूपी का इन्फेंट मोर्टेलिटी रेट 63.5 था, आज की तारीख में कितना है? ये 3 नंबर मुझे बता दीजिए। दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो जाएगा कि यूपी में आदित्यनाथ को लोगों ने स्वीकारा है कि नहीं?
घनश्याम तिवारी जी,
3 बातें हैं। पहली बात कि उत्तर प्रदेश की, क्योंकि आप बड़े बड़े आंकड़े देते हैं, मैं साधारण आंकड़ा देता हूं जो कि पॉलिटिकली रेलेवेंट है। उत्तर प्रदेश में 3 करोड़ ग्रामीण हाउस होल्ड है, 1 करोड़ शहरी हाउस होल्ड है। जो ग्रामीण हाउस होल्ड है उसका मीडियन इनकम यानी 50% 1.5 करोड़ इनकम एक्सपेंडिचर पर मंथ जो है 5,000 रुपए है। अगर हम सिर्फ बीच में मत बोलिएगा, जो शहरी हाउस होल्ड है उनका एक्सपेंडिचर पर मंथ 8,000 रुपए है। क्या बीच में मत बोलिए, रुकिए बीच में मत बोलिए, टोकिए मत। दूसरी बात, बीच में मत टोकिए,
इजाजत दे दीजिए, इतना बोलने की इजाजत दे दीजिए कि कोर्ट से बाहर का सवाल पूछ लिया आनंद रंगनाथन ने, इसलिए आप सवालों का जवाब नहीं दे रहे।
मुझे जवाब देने, मैं जवाब दे रहा हूँ। देखिए, सवालों का जवाब से भागना क्या होता है, यहाँ संबित पात्रा जी ने इस चीज का जवाब नहीं दिया कि किस तरीके से उनके टेक प्लेटफॉर्म टेक फॉर्म से महिला जर्नलिस्ट को 1 लाख गालियां जो है 10 महिला जर्नलिस्ट को 1 लाख गालियां दी गई। ये इसका जवाब नहीं दिया। मैं जवाब देता हूँ हर बात का। दूसरी बात, इन्होंने कहा कि उत्तर प्रदेश में शिक्षा की क्या स्थिति है। उत्तर प्रदेश में शिक्षा की ये स्थिति है कि 2 साल से कोई स्कूल शुरू नहीं हुआ है, बच्चों के पास लैपटॉप टैबलेट नहीं है। एक शिक्षा मंत्री, न देश के शिक्षा मंत्री जो उत्तर प्रदेश के प्रभारी है, न उत्तर प्रदेश के शिक्षा मंत्री ने इससे एक शब्द बोला भी है। छोड़िए, पिछले 5 साल में 8 एग्जाम लीक हुए हैं। अंतिम बात,
कोविड के प्रकरण के बाद आप क्या समझ रहे हैं? दिल्ली में स्कूल चल रहे हैं, दिल्ली में यूनिवर्सिटी। संबित पात्रा जी जवाब दे रहे हैं। संबित पात्रा जी,
हमने जब कहा कि हम 300 यूनिट मुफ्त बिजली देंगे,
सब बोलेंगे तो नहीं सुनाई देगा। आपने सवाल उठा, मैं आनंद रंगनाथन जी आपके पास आऊंगी, सवालों के जवाब आप ही दीजिएगा, लेकिन पहले डॉक्टर पात्रा बोल रहे हैं घनश्याम तिवारी जी को। घनश्याम तिवारी जी, समय कम है, पात्रा जी हमारे पास है। हाँ, पात्रा जी बोल रहे हैं, पात्रा जी बोल रहे हैं, पात्रा जी।
आनंद रंगनाथन जी ने इन्फेंट मोर्टेलिटी के
Navika, I don't want to shout over anyone. See, basically, let's talk about the general scenario of Uttar Pradesh. I mean, just imagine, Navika, you have been an ace reporter and ace anchor. You have observed as to how the scenario of Uttar Pradesh has changed in the sense. What was the narrative previously? The narrative previously was the day, in fact, the Uttar Pradesh's election would be announced. Even Smita Prakashji would vouch for the same. The combinations would come out. The DM combination, MY combination, Dalit Muslim combination, the Yadav Muslim combination. From all this, the narrative today is DP combination, development and peace. And that's why we had erudite Anand Ranganathan coming out with data. He was talking about data, he was talking about Jan Dhan Yojana, he was talking about toilets, he was talking about the number of medical colleges that have been opened in every Janpad, and that's where, in fact, the narrative comes into being. That's why the narrative has changed, and that's why we are going to be victorious, number one. Number two, remember, it is both going to be Vikas as well as Virasat. It's going to be development, it's going to be infrastructure, it's going to be expressway. But well, yes, Ram Mandir, that is Ayodhya and Mathura, all of it is important. The Vikas is important as well as our Virasat. And this combination of Vikas and Virasat is what has given the Bharatiya Janata Party an edge which no political party can come near.
Well, that's very clear. Sanjay Jha, it seems the mood is out there for people to see. Sanjay Jha, I want to know from you, what is it now in terms of the road ahead for the Gandhis, given the fact that Goa, they don't seem to be in it. In Punjab, Aam Aadmi Party in these opinion polls seems to be pipping them at the post. UP, of course, they haven't got much. In Uttarakhand, also, the Congress doesn't seem to be forming the government. Where do they go from here?
Well, frankly, Navika, if these numbers hold, then the term existential crisis that has been talked about for quite a long time, the Congress will have actually turned to a very brutal reality for the Congress party. I have always been saying to many people in the party that you have looked upon the BJP as your big formidable rival. That's true. But for God's sake, don't come so decent and laid back. Take your
well, it's time to write another article. Maybe your designation will change from suspended Congress leader to ousted Congress leader if you write another article in the same way, Sanjay Jha. But Anand Ranganathan, your answers.
Yes, the question was 2017, the GDP per capita of UP was 47,000. What is it now? The answer is it is 65,000. The second question was, in 2017, 30% of females in UP had done 10 years or more of schooling. Right now, it is 40%. And the third is the infant mortality rate in 2017 was 65. Today, it is 50.
Well, it's very clear. It's very clear. The numbers.
Data either.
Yeah, the numbers speak. But as of now, let me give the big picture of Uttar Pradesh.
Uttar Pradesh is the worst on healthcare by Niti Aayog. Does Anand know that?
The question really is, it may be the worst, but the fact is it's made some strides since 2017, and that is what Yogi is going to be judged on. At least that's what Dr. Patra and the BJP feel. Well, the big takeaways coming up on your screen on Uttar Pradesh, and thumbs up for the double-engine Sarkar. BJP remains and retains Uttar Pradesh comfortably. That seems to be the verdict in these opinion polls. Yogi to be the first chief minister to win a second consecutive term in 35 years. So 35-year-old record will be broken by Yogi Adityanath if this comes true. 2 consecutive polls, one with full majority in Uttar Pradesh for the first time by any political party, and that in itself is a record. Campaign of Hindutva with development. Welfare pitch actually pays off for Yogi if these numbers hold when elections take place. BJP's non-Yadav OBC and non-Jatav scheduled caste consolidation continues in Uttar Pradesh. Also, Samajwadi Party has gained at the expense of the Congress and the BSP. So there is growth for the Samajwadi Party at the expense of both the Congress and the BSP, and it looks like it's going bipolar in Uttar Pradesh. Congress strategy to project Priyanka as campaign face completely fails this time around, and credibility of the Gandhis within the party and electoral value is further dented if these results really do hold out. Mayawati's BSP loses more than 10% vote share compared to 2017, and that is going to be a big worry for Mayawati and BSP. And before I wrap this round on the News Hour tonight, these are the big numbers for Uttar Pradesh. 227 to 254 for the BJP, 136 to 151 for the Samajwadi Party, 8 to 14 for the BSP, Congress 6 to 11, others 0 to 4. In the total of 403, BJP forming the government comfortable majority for the BJP, even if you see the lower end of of the seats that are projected here. The lower end projections are also a comfortable majority for the BJP. So is it going to be a 35-year-old record that's going to be broken? And is this going to give the BJP a leg up in the run-up to the Lok Sabha polls in 2024? Because, ladies and gentlemen, in these 5 states, if Uttarakhand, Goa and Uttar Pradesh are all won by the BJP, then we're at the cusp of the halfway mark of Narendra Modi's second term. Is this going to set the mood for 2024? That's what many people are asking. Well, that's it for UP, and that's it on the News Hour tonight. Thank you very much for joining me on this big opinion poll. Don't forget to tweet with the hashtag March 10th with Times Now. That's the big opinion poll coming up every week that we'll bring to you.